So when I talk to groups of young people, I feel like there's a place where I need to start, which is that I feel like I need to say on behalf of my generation, and I've just turned 50, to your generation, I'm sorry, because we've made a right mess of things. The way things are now in the world, economically, socially, environmentally, politically, is really not a great state. Turning our oceans into a plastic soup. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation tells us that by 2050, the weight of fish in the oceans will be equalled by the weight of plastics. And then, of course, we've got what I'd call an educational crisis. And you probably know that the Green Party believes in zero university tuition fees and very much zero further education fees. Yet, of course, the government is bringing in loans for some further education courses now. So what young people are facing, both in universities and increasingly in further education colleges, is going through 30 years of life with that weight of debt on your shoulder, paying back money every year without ever being able to pay the debt off. And the Green Party, we believe that's absolutely unacceptable. We believe in zero university tuition fees. So we've got all those crises, and then we've also got a political crisis. And we have a government now that's imposing hideous austerity, slashing back the funding for local government, slashing back the funding of things like libraries, Sure Start centres, social care for older people, disabled people, and that's also privatising our NHS at racing speed, that is privatising now, planning to turn schools all into academies, which is another privatisation. And yet it only got the support of 24% of eligible voters. The Tax Research Network reckons there's $21 trillion sitting in tax havens around the world. And that money is absolutely useless. It's not paying people's wages, it's not making things, it's not growing things. That's the real core of our economic problems. We're seeing big multinational companies that aren't paying their way, aren't paying their taxes. We're seeing services cut to the bone. And our society cannot continue this way. Economically, we have to get a more diverse economy, an economy in which we build it around strong local economies in places like Barrow, lots of small independent businesses, creating lots of opportunities for other businesses servicing each other. Britain, I'm sure everyone has noticed, has a great deal of wind energy available to be accessed. If Barrow was to branch out into wind turbines, making the boats that service offshore wind turbines, it was to branch out, and Hull has actually done this. They've now got the big Siemens factory coming in Hull. So maybe the turbines aren't the answer, but maybe battery storage. You might have heard about the Tesla, how they're really taking off in the United States. We don't have a big focus on batteries anywhere in Britain, and the technologies, the skills that you've got here would transfer potentially really well to that. So I would say to Barrow, it makes an awful lot of sense to ensure your future as a community, to say we really want to diversify, branch out, so we're not just relying on one thing, to have other sources of income, other developments. Even Ulverston has got a real focus on new high-tech technology industries. We need to see that kind of diversity here in Barrow as well.